You learned about posture in the first practice. Bring your awareness inward. Feel awareness of your body from the crown, top of your head to the tips of your toes. Take a slow, long, deep breath in and out. As you learn the first practice, where you saw set up your intention is very important. So please take a minute to set up your intention right. As you learned in the first practice, do a wide rotation of sound awareness. Begin to focus on the most distant sound that you can hear. Let your sense of hearing radiate outwards, searching out these distant sound and following them for a few moments. Move your attention from sound to sound without leveling the source. Gradually bring your attention to closer sounds, to sounds outside this building, to sound inside this building, to sounds inside the room, more closer sound inside you, sound of your heartbeat, your breathing. Feel it a moment. Visualize the four wall of this room, the ceiling, the floor, your body lying on the floor, or if you're sitting on the floor or chair, wherever you are. Visualize your body lying on the floor. If you're sitting position of your body, your clothes, your hair, your face. Become accurately aware of the existence of your physical body. As you also learned alternate nostril breathing, do for a while. Place the tip of the index finger and middle finger of the right hand on your forehead, in between the eyebrows, with the ring finger and little finger on the left nostril and the thumb on the right nostril. Use the ring finger and little finger to open and close the left nostril, and use the thumb for the right nostril. Breath in through both nostrils, close the right nostril, and breath out completely through the left nostril. Breath in through the left nostril, then close with the ring finger. Release the thumb on the right nostril and breath out through the right nostril. Inhale through the right nostril, close with the thumb. Release the ring finger from the left side and exhale through the left nostril. Again, breath in through the left nostril and then close with the ring finger. Release the thumb on the right nostril and breath out through the right nostril. Inhale through the right nostril. Close with the thumb. Release the finger from the left side and exhale through the left nostril. Again, breath in through the left nostril and then close with the ring finger. Release the thumb on the right nostril and breath out through the right nostril. Inhale through the right nostril. Close with the thumb. Release the ring finger from the left side and exhale through the left nostril. Again, breath in through the left nostril and then close with the ring finger. Release the thumb on the right nostril and breath out through the right nostril. Inhale through the right nostril. Close with the thumb. Release the ring finger from the left side and exhale through the left nostril. One more time. Breath in through the left nostril and then close with the ring finger. Release the thumb on the right nostril and breath out through the right nostril. Inhale through the right nostril. Close with the thumb. Release the ring finger from the left side and exhale through the left nostril. As you learned quiet breathing in the first practice, please do that for a while. Long, slow, deep breath in and then hold for some moments and then slow, long, deep breath out. Exhale and then hold your breath for just some moment. Again, take another slow, long, deep breath in. Hold for some moments. And then slow, long, deep breath out. Exhale. And then hold for some moments. Again, slow, long, deep breath in. Hold for some moments and then hold after. Exhale, slow, long, deep breath out and hold the breath for just some moment. Inhale, slow, long, deep breath in and hold for some big moment. and slow, long, deep breath out, and then hold your breath for just some moments. Again, slow, long, deep breath in, hold for some moments, then slow, long, deep breath out and hold for some moments. Now, don't follow any breathing pattern. Instead, just become observer of your breath. Let your mind and body breath itself. Follow air moving through your body. Just taste your breath, feel it as it is. No control, no reaction. Take it as it is. As you learned in first practice, energy breathing, do that for a while. Let's do it. So 8 inhale and 8 exhale. Take a break for 15 to 20 seconds. Then go for second round. Okay. So take a breath for 15 to 20 seconds. Go for third round. Go for a break for 15 to 20 seconds. Again. Take a break for 15 to 20 seconds. Go for last one. Go for a break for 15 to 20 seconds. As you learned progressive muscle relaxation technique, let do that. Muscles of whole body tight, 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 stretch and clench. Build up the tension, hold the tension, and feel the tension. Then let it go slowly. Blow out all toxin out. Lift your shoulders up as if they're touching your ears. Then gently pull your head back as if to look at the ceiling and hold. Also, clench your fist, mean all fingers pressed against your palms and hold. Tighten as much you can. Now, tighten the muscles in your forehead by raising your eyebrows as high as you can. Hold, squeeze your forehead. Also, smile widely as you can, filling your mouth and cheeks tense. Tighten your eye muscles by squinting your eyelids tightly shut, clenching your jaw and wrinkle your nose. Hold for few more moments. Build up tension, hold tension, feel tension, and then release and relax. Pulling your shoulder back, trying to make your shoulders blades touch. Hold for few more moments. Build up tension, hold tension, feel tension, and then release and relax. Now, tighten the muscles in your stomach by sucking in, mean contract or push your belly backwards. Hold for few more moments. Build up tension, hold tension, feel tension, and then release and relax. Tighten buttocks. Hold for few more moments. Build up tension, hold tension, feel tension, and then release and relax. Tighten your thighs by pressing your knees. Curl your toes under tensing your feet. Hold for few more moments. Build up tension, hold tension, feel tension, and then release and relax. Build up a tension, hold tension, and feel tension. Maintain the tension, then release and relax, letting your muscles be settled and comfortable. Paying attention to the difference between the tightness of tension and the comfort of relaxation. Now we are going to practice some acupressure to balance our mind and body. With your middle finger, presses firmly in circular motion, massage your third eye as you see in picture for 20 seconds. Now intersection between the end of the eyebrow and a straight line extending from the outer corner of the eye called your temple. Massage this spot firmly, circular motion for 5 seconds, both sides at a time, as you see in the picture. Now, as you can see in video, please position your both index finger near the edges of your nostril so you can feel your cheekbones massage at a time both sides of this point for 5 seconds clockwise. Little and deep in between your upper lip and nose. Press firmly for 5 seconds as you see in the picture. Now pull down and massage your earlobe using your index finger and thumb for 5 seconds. Feel for two small symmetrical indentation where your neck meet your skull. Use the pads of your middle fingers to massage the pressure point clockwise for about 5 seconds, both sides at a time. The point as you see in the picture. Now position your fingers on both sides of your jaw and close and open your mouth several times. You need the point where most of the movement happens. Press on this point from both sides at a time for 5 seconds around. As you see in the picture, group of where the neck muscles attached to the skulls apply deep firm pressure toward the skulls and massage it stimulates the area for 5 seconds. At the center of the breastbone, 4 fingers whips up from the base of the bump. In other words, in your heart center, with 2 finger massage clockwise for 10 seconds, as you see in the picture. On the shoulder, halfway between the arm and the spine, let's pinch the shoulder muscles with your thumb and middle finger. 5 seconds, both sides at a time. Flash, flashy pad between your index finger and thumb on its highest point mean close to the bones. In other words, point is located on the highest spot of the muscles where the thumb and index fingers are brought close together. Squeeze hard, firmly 20 seconds clockwise. both hand one at a time. So start one fast, 20 seconds, then and finish, move on to the next one. Let's move on to the next hand, index finger and thumbs. Yes, on the other hand for 20 seconds. Here, your wrist on your inner arm, your palms should be facing you and your fingers should be pointing up. Three fingers wide below the wrist, between the two large tendons below your index finger. Use your thumb on front side and middle finger on the back of your hand. Squeeze firmly for 20 seconds. Under your thumb, if you bend your fingers, it is a place on your palm or the tip of your middle finger ends up. Massage this pressure point in counterclockwise circular motions for 10 seconds, both hands, once at a time. So let's start one. Now let's move to the other hand. On the crease of your wrist and directly below your pinky, that's where you need to apply pressure 10 seconds clockwise, both one hand at a time. Let's move to the next hand. The groove formed by the tendons of the fourth and fifth finger, as you see in the picture. Apply strong pressure, massage 5 seconds, both hands, one hands at a time. Let's move to the next hand. At your finger widths down from the bottom of your kneecap along the outer boundary of your shin bone. You can find it by putting your hands on the outer side of the leg over your knee with your fingers facing down. The point is between the tips of your fourth and fifth finger, a small dent between the kneecap and between the bones. Massage for 5 seconds, both legs at a time. inner side of the leg. Move 4 fingers up your leg above your ankle. Massage this place clockwise for 5 seconds, both leg, one at a time. Please all showing hereby some of the exercise will not be good for pregnant women because this kind of pressure to the point can induce labor heat. Go for the next leg. On the sole of your foot, 1/3 of the way down from your toes, the middle of your foot. Press this point for 20 seconds with 2 thumbs, both feet, one foot at a time. So start with 1 foot for 20 seconds. Move to the next foot for 20 seconds. Continue long, slow, and deep breath fully in and exhale fully out. Let it go. Keep the navel engaged, belly or diaphragm, contraction and expansion. We are going to begin with equal count, breathing to count of 4 silently in our head. Inhaling with the count 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold with the count 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale with the count 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold the count 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's do it for a while. Inhale 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold 1, 2, 3, 4. Again. Inhale 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold 1, 2, 3, 4. Inhale 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold 1, 2, 3, 4. Inhale 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold 1, 2, 3, 4. Inhale 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold 1, 2, 3, 4. Inhale 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold 1, 2, 3, 4. Inhale 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold 1, 2, 3, 4. Inhale 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold. 1, 2, 3, 4. Continue. Now, instead of counting 1, 2, 3, 4, we are going to chant the mantra out loud from the navel. Choose a mantra that feels good and or has significance for you. Literally anything can be a mantra, but you want to make sure to pick something positive and not too complicated. For example, when you inhale loudly, repeat yourself rising, and when you pause your breath, hold, and you may say when you exhale, falling. The purpose of chanting is to direct your energy. Actively listen to yourself if you are chanting out loud, or visualize the mantra if you are saying it in your head. You can also repeat your mantra at other times of the day if feeling stressed. Let's continue this for a while. So, rising, hold, falling, hold, 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 rising, hold, falling, hold. Now just naturally connect to your breath and don't follow any breath pattern. Instead, let your body and mind breathe for you. Let's do mindful listening. Just listen, don't judge, don't react. Take it as a whole as it is. Since you must continue to contemplating for a long time while in one position, that of sitting or lying down, you're likely to experience an intense feeling of fatigue, stiffness in the body or in the arm or legs. Should this happen, Simply keep the knowing mind on that part of the body where such feelings occur and carry on the contemplation. Noting tired or stiffing. Do this naturally. That is neither too fast nor too slow. These feelings gradually become fainter and finally cease altogether. Should one of these feelings become more intense until the bodily fatigue or stiffness of joint is unbearable, then change your position. However, do not forget to make a mental note of intending before you proceed to change your position. Each movement must be contemplated in its respective order and in detail. If you intend to lift the hand or leg, make a mental note intending. In the act of lifting the hand or leg, lifting, stretching either the hand or the leg, stretching. When you bend it, bending. When putting it down, putting. Should either the hand or leg touch, touching. Perform all of these actions in a slow and deliberate manner. As soon as you are settled in the new position, continue with the contemplation in another position. Should an itching sensation be felt in any part of the body, keep the mind on that part and make a mental note itching. Do this in a regulated manner, neither too fast nor too slow. When the itching sensation disappears in the course of full awareness, continue with the exercise of noticing the rising and falling of the abdomen. Should the itching continue and become too strong, and you intend to rub the itchy part, be sure to make a mental note intending. Slowly lift the hand simultaneously, noting the action of lifting and touching. When the hand touches the part that itches, rub slowly in complete awareness of rubbing. When the itching sensation has disappeared and you intend to discontinue rubbing, be mindful by making the usual mental note of intending. Slowly withdraw the hand, concurrently making a mental note of the action, withdrawing. When the hand rests in its usual place, touching the leg, touching. Then again, devote your time to observing the abdominal movement. If there is a pain or discomfort, keep the knowing mind on that part of the body where the sensation arises. Make a mental note of the specific sensation as it occurs, such as painful, itching, pressing, piercing, tired, giddy. It must be stressed that a mental note must not be forced nor delayed, but made in a calm and natural manner. The pain may eventually cease or increase. Do not be alarmed if it increases. Firmly continue the contemplation. If you do so, you'll find that the pain will almost always cease. But if after a time the pain has increased and becomes unbearable, you must ignore the pain and continue with the contemplation of rising and falling. As you progress in mindfulness, you may experience sensation of intense pain, stiffing or choking sensation, such as pain from the slash of a knife, the thrust of a sharp pointed instrument, unpleasant sensation of being pricked by sharp needles, or of small insect crawling over the body. You might experience sensation of itching, beating, intense cold. As soon as you discontinue the contemplation, you may also feel that this painful sensation ceases. When you resume contemplation, you will have them again as soon as you gain in mindfulness. These painful sensations are not to be considered as something wrong. They are not manifestation of disease, but are common factors always present in the body and are usually obscured when the mind is normally occupied with more conspicuous object. When the mental faculties become keener, you are more aware of this sensation. With the continued development of contemplation, the time will come when you can overcome them and they will cease altogether. If you continue contemplation, firm in purpose will not come to any harm. You should lose courage, become irresolute in contemplation, and discontinue for some time. You may encounter this unpleasant sensation again and again as your contemplation proceeds. If you continue the determination, you will most likely overcome this painful sensation and may never again experience them in the course of contemplation. Should you intend to saw the body, then knowingly not intending, while in the act of swaying, when contemplating, you may occasionally discover the body swaying back and forth. Do not be alarmed, neither be pleased nor wish to continue to sway. The swaying will cease if you keep the knowing mind on the action of swaying and continue to note swaying until the action ceases. If swaying increases in spite of your making a mental note of it, then lean against a wall or post or lie down for a while. Thereafter, proceed with contemplation. Follow the same procedure if you find yourself shaking or trembling. When contemplation is developed, you may sometimes feel a thrill or chill pass through the back or the entire body. This is a symptom of the feeling of intense interest, enthusiasm, or rapture. It occurs naturally in the course of good contemplation. When your mind is fixed in contemplation, you may be startled at the slightest sound. This takes place because you feel the effect of sensory impression more intensely while in a state of concentration. If you are thirsty when contemplating, notice the feeling thirsty. When you intend to stand intending, keep the mind intently on the act of standing up and mentally note standing. When you look forward after standing up straight, note looking, seeing. Should you intend to walk forward, intending? When you begin to step forward, mentally note each step as walking, walking, or left, right. It is important for you to be aware of every moment in each step from the beginning to the end when you walk. Adhere to the same procedure when strolling on or when talking, walking, exercise. Try to make a mental note of each step in two sections as follows: lifting, putting, lifting, putting. When you have obtained sufficient practice in this manner of walking, then try to make a mental note of each step in three sections: lifting, pushing, putting, or up, forward, down. When you look at the tap or water pot on arriving at the place where you are to take a drink, be sure to make a mental note: looking, seeing. When you stop walking, stopping. When you stretch out the hand, stretching. When you touch the cup, touching. When you take the cup, taking. When you dipping the cup into the water, dipping. When you bring the cup to the lips, bringing. When the cup touches the lip, touching. When you shallow, shallowing. When you return the cup, returning. When you withdrawing the hand, withdrawing. When you bring down the hand, bringing. When the hand touches the side of the body, touching. If you intend to turn around, intending. When you turn round, turning. When you walk forward, walking. On arriving at the place where you intend to stop, intending. When you stop, stopping. If you remain standing for some time, continue the contemplation of rising and falling. But if you intend to sit down, note intending. When you go to sit down, walking. On arriving at the place where you will sit, arriving. When you turn to sit, turning. While in the act of sitting down, sitting. Sit down slowly and keep the mind on the downward movement of the body. You must notice every moment in bringing the hands and legs into position. Then resume the practice of contemplating the abdominal movements. Should you intend to lie down, not intending, then proceed with the contemplation of every moment in the course of lying down, lifting, stretching, putting, touching, lying. Then fix as the object of contemplation every moment in bringing the hands, legs, and body into position. Perform this action slowly. Thereafter, continue with noting rising and falling. Should pain, fatigue, itching, or any other sensation be felt, be sure to notice each of these sensations. Notice all feelings, thoughts, ideas, considerations, reflections, all movement of hands, legs, arms, and body. If there is nothing in particular to note, put the mind on the rising and falling of the abdomen. When sleepy, make a mental note: sleepy. After you have gained sufficient concentration in contemplating, you will be able to overcome drowsiness and you will feel refreshed as a result. Take up again the usual contemplation of the basic object. If you're unable to overcome the drowsy feeling, you must continue contemplating drowsiness until you fall asleep. The state of sleep is the continuity of subconscious. It is similar to the first state of rebirth consciousness and the last state of consciousness at the moment of death. This state of consciousness is viewable and therefore unable to aware of an object. When you awake, the continuity of subconsciousness occurs regularly between moments of seeing, hearing, tasting, smelling, touching, and thinking. Because these occurrences are of brief duration, they are not usually clear and therefore not noticeable. Continuity of subconscious remain during sleep, a fact which become obvious when you wake up, for it is in the state of wakefulness that thoughts and sense object become distinct. Contemplation should start at the moment you wake up. Since you are a beginner, it may not be possible yet for you to start contemplating at the very first moment of wakefulness. But you should start with it when you remember that you are to contemplate. For example, if on awakening you reflect on something, you should become aware of the fact and begin your contemplation by a mental note, reflecting. Then proceed with the contemplation of rising and falling. When getting up from the bed, mindfulness should be directed to every details of the body's activity. Each movement of the hands, legs, and rump must be performed in complete awareness. Are you thinking of the time of day when awakening? If so, no thinking. Do you intend to get out of bed? If so, not intending. If you prepare to move the body into position for rising, not preparing. As you slowly rising, should you remain sitting for any length of time, revert to contemplating the abdominal movements. Perform the acts of washing the face or taking a bath in due order in complete awareness of every detailed movement. For instance, looking, seeing, stretching, holding, touching, feeling cold, rubbing. In the act of dressing, making the bed, opening and closing doors and windows, handling objects, be occupied with every details of these actions in sequence. You must attend to the contemplation of every detail in the action of eating. When you look at the food, looking, seeing. When you arrange the food, arranging. When you bring the food to the mouth, bringing. When you bend the neck forwards, bending. When the food touches the mouth, touching. When placing the food in the mouth, placing. When the mouth closes, closing. When withdrawing the hand, withdrawing. Should the hand touch the plate, touching. When straightening the neck, straightening. When in the act of chewing, chewing. When you are aware of the taste, knowing. When swallowing the food, swallowing. While swallowing the food, should the food be felt touching the sides of the gullet, touching. Perform contemplation in this manner each time you take a morsel of food until you finish your meal. In the beginning of the practice, there will be many omissions. Never mind, do not waver in your effort. You will make fewer omissions if you persist in your practice. When you reach an advanced stage of the practice, you will also to be able to notice more details than those mentioned here. After having practiced for a day and night, you may find your contemplation considerably improved. You may be able to prolong the basic exercise of noticing the abdominal movement. At this time, you will notice that there is generally a break between the movements of rising and falling. If you are in the sitting posture, fill in the gaps with a mental note of the fact of sitting in this way, rising, falling, sitting. When you make a mental note of sitting, keep your mind on the erect position of the upper body. When you are lying down, you should proceed with full awareness as follows: rising, falling, lying. If you find this easy, continue with noticing these three sections. Should you notice that a pause occurs at the end of the rising as well as at the end of the falling movement, then continue in this manner: rising, sitting, falling, sitting, or when lying down, rising, lying, falling, lying. Suppose you no longer find it easy to make a mental note of three or four objects in the mentioned manner, then revert to the initial procedure of noting only the two sections, rising and falling. While engaged in the regular practice of contemplating bodily movement, you need not be concerned with objects of seeing and hearing. As long as you are able to keep your mind on the abdominal movements of rising and falling, it is assumed that purpose of noticing the acts and objects of seeing is also served. However, you may intentionally look at an object two or three times, notes as seeing. Then return to the awareness of the abdominal movement. Suppose some persons come into your view. Make a mental note of seeing two or three times and then resume attention to the rising and falling movements of the abdomen. Did you happen to hear the sound of her voice? Did you listen to it? If so, make a mental note of hearing, listening, and revert to rising and falling. But suppose you heard loud noise, such as the barking of dogs, loud talking or shouting. If so, immediately make a mental note two or three times, hearing, then return to your basic exercise. If you fail to note and dismiss such distinctive sound as they occur, you may inadvertently fall into reflection about them instead of proceeding with intense attention to rising and falling, which may then become less distinct and clear. It is by such weakened attention that mind defiling passions breed and multiply. If such reflection do occur, make a mental note reflecting two or three times, then again take up the contemplation of rising and falling. Should you forget to make a mental note of body, leg, or arm movement, then mentally note forgetting and resume your usual contemplation on abdominal movements. You may feel at times that breathing is slow or that the rising and falling movements are not clearly perceived. When this happens and you are in the sitting position, simply move the attention to sitting, touching, or if you are lying down, to lying, touching. While contemplating touching, your mind should not be kept on the same part of the body but on different part successively. There are several places of touch and at least six or seven should be contemplated. As I mentioned before, after some days practice of those previous cited exercise, you can go for exercise 4, which is up to this point you have devoted quite some time to the training course. You might begin to feel lazy after deciding that you have made inadequate progress. By no means give up. Simply note the fact lazy. Before you gain sufficient strength in attention, concentration, and insight, you may doubt the correctness or usefulness of this method of training. In such a circumstance, turn to contemplation of the thought doubtful. Do you anticipate or wish for good results? If so, make such thoughts the subject of your contemplation, anticipating or wishing. Are you attempting to recall the manner in which the training was conducted up to this point? Yes? Then take up contemplation on recollecting. Are there occasions when you examine the object of contemplation in order to determine whether it is mind or matter? If so, then be aware of examining. Do you regret that there is no improvement in your contemplation? If so, attend to the feeling of regret. Conversely, are you happy that your contemplation is improving? If you are, then contemplate the feeling of being happy. This is the way in which you make a mental note of every item of mental behavior as it occurs. And if there are no intervening thoughts or perceptions to note, you should revert to the contemplation of rising and falling. During a strict course of meditation, the time of practice is from the first moment you wake up until the last moment before you fall asleep. To reiterate, you must be constantly occupied either with the basic exercise or with mindful attention throughout the day, and during those night hours when you are not asleep, there must be no relaxation. Upon reaching a certain stage of progress with contemplation, you will not feel sleepy in spite of these prolonged hours of practice. On the contrary, you will be able to continue the contemplation day and night. So, till now, what you see concluded, it has been emphasized during the brief outline of the training that you must contemplate on each mental occurrence, good or bad, on each bodily movement, large or small, on every sensation, bodily or mental feelings, pleasant or unpleasant, and so on. If during the course of training occasions arises when there is nothing special to contemplate upon, be fully occupied with attention to the rising and falling of the breath. When you have to attend to any kind of activity that necessitates walking, then in contemplate awareness, each step should be briefly noted as walking, walking, or left, right. But when you are taking a walking exercise, contemplate on each step in three sections: up, forward, down. The student who thus dedicate himself or herself to the training day and night be able in not too long a time to develop concentration to the initial stage of the fourth degree of insight, knowledge of arising and passing away, and onward to higher stage of insight meditation, or someone called Vipassana Bhavana. Thank you again for another session to let me do this wholesome job. Thanks a lot.